Etiefo memo bibi akwaba eba Melodies TV so. There is something going on. Na ewasi ehwe ye. There is a petition ekoso, right, on social media. Na it is from Nkrumah Gan for. Na sa petition we Asantefo asomo ama ntokwa ekoso ewo social media between Asantefo ene Nkrumah. Enye ntokwa ketwa. I'm going to read some of the posts so you see senior Asantefo ne Nkrumah ni bi no omo ye omo ho fin. Initially no it was supposed to be Everfo, Asantefo ene Nkrumah. But Everfo ne de obo de omo atene echi ena Eveni biam kasa ena Asantefo ne Nkrumah no aso ntokwa nim ena ntokwa no emu yedin. Na nini na ne se Nkrumah ehya se wo mo complain se Nkrumah Memorial Park ewo Ghana ha ewo nkran die ntiana Nkrumah Memorial Park ewo omo asase so die ntia ena yede brofo ya tro welcome inti post na ewo screen so ohun sisi ya no ya tro welcome ya sanso atro welcome no wo evemu eno ye wezon ena ya sanso atro welcome no ewo Asantitwi mu eno ye akwaba na so wo mo Nkrumah ti omo asase so ye ntro welcome no ewo mo Nkrumah ekasemu aden Ghana ha no eye Everfo eni Asantefo pe na ye Ghana fo ana. Into the post is what you are seeing, and you are seeing a screenshot of the petition. Into the petition will say petition to include Obake. And now Obake, I don't know how they call it, but I'm saying Nkrumah no send your mobile welcome no Obake send ya Everfo no kano Wezon or Momo kano Obake. To say petition to include Obake on signage at Nkrumah Memorial Park. The petition to include Obake. To more petition say ye the Everfo Wezon ye the Asantefo akwaba ka ho Nkrumah so yemfo mo de nka ho Obake no yemfa nka ho. Nti ho na Nkrumah bi ekokoye say Photoshop ena obabe posti a new one award say omoyi Everfo ne Asantefo ne de ne free ho ena omdi Obake no ahye ho nti omde Nkrumah ne de ne pe Obake ena ahye ho na say Nkrumah no be posti ade we no Asantefo ne trim no eyo say indeed ye yi akwaba ne Wezon no efree ho basani amama wate ase no Asantefo ne Everfo, right? But Everfo de wo mo ankasa Everfo ne hu say well Nkrumah asase se wo de yen ye kasa na ye bibi no omo se omo mpe a omo yuso omo kasa ene ebo ne ben omo de Everfo ne tino no mo dwen omo ho but the pakro we koye sa Photoshop yi e de ba betu dwa no en Asantefo nso so mo se adan na mo te sa adan na mo yesa nti e be dane ntokwa e wo social media. In fact, celebrities Asantini celebrity be ba be kasa na Nkrumah celebrity ababe me se enra enye ntokwa ketwa e wo social media. Etiefo, just give me 1 minute of your time. Let me interrupt with this very important notice. Sabo heme na opese o reduce a year wefu from this level to this level. Very simple. Nyama miensa na ewo se oye. Eto de bia ya na nkrofo bebre eka se edro bi ebetumi ama wefu akofom ntro edro bi eni ho ebetumi ayesa na wa wotie mi wato edro sa we hu se wanom enye hwe na nyama miensa no media atro book enkrata obrone se opese osie bibi from bibinia fashe book mu nti nyama miensa no media atro book mi ameti he na mefuso enyama me ye ma mefu ekofom within 3 months pe nti book no pe bia on your screen obetumi click any of the icons na wape book no and as a link na wa comment box the mo say no o click here be another page into page we no mostly no mobile money na obe use o pay hard copy of the book na wa click here so wo pay book no wo phone so na wa click here so wo pay video yankasa ye kenkan book na ma na we for wo mo a wo mo ni ma kenkan na eno so wa click wo benya video ni to tia through mobile money na wenya video no ana wenya book no na uye we ni na still on sanka book no ana wetua ka wie na still on sanka book na o ya ade we na still unya kwan enya book na don't worry call the number and say message 055 807 4986 055 807 4986 o messages our number na obenya book no na aside the fact say if ukese enye fe no yesi Ghana for yare a ekum Ghana for dodo na te say stroke BP akomayare diabetes na nyama no nini na no fukese ene deba na ya na nsemo ya America no asemo America no say the teenager ho enonim nti se wutie me na wefusu na okọ hospital ko ye tester ya na bia ye katro say cholesterol ye high dodo na no fukese no ene ekose nti se wutie me na opese reduce the size of your stomach very simple get the book as I've shown you in the video yentia story no eso between Asante 4 and Nkrumah 4. Now, I am going to read your mama what you said. Let me read the post into the Asante Nation platform via a Twitter X. Dodo nano they talk about Otumfo. Into a young Nkrumah bebreka say a menshia account. But as to whether a official menshia account, we don't know. But Asante Nation accounts via a tre Asante 4 amamre. They give exclusive on Otumfo and all that. Inti Obabetron Sembi. Now you read the Asante Nation in Sema Obabetron. Well, see, it is quite interesting that because aside sa we ni na ekofan sembe breba Nkrumah 4 sanso beka say okọ aside we no omo sanso beka say okọ Kotoka International Airport Kotoka oye Eveni inti Kotoka International Airport no edin a edaso no eye Eveni din edaso ena wokọ ho nso a ya tro akwaba ena ya Asante kasa inti saa akwaba ne kra ne yenyi nyemfa obake no nya den enhye ho inti anu nso na obi so ekokọ ye Photoshop ede ba beto ho se omuyi akwaba ni na de obake ahyehyehye ho but you see because obi ye Photoshop ni nyama inti ma Asante phone gi tu mu se indeed yeyi akwaba free ho emye de obake aba be hye ho meanwhile a Photoshop inti eno na ma Asante 4 account no eba be trust semwe I say it is quite interesting that the airport itself is named after Kotoka and Everman, yet no one seems to have any problem with that. Instead, all the attention is fixated. It has Asante come all the attention is fixated on the Akwaba inscription. If this is truly about heritage preservation, then why not call for the removal of both Kotoka and Akwaba, since neither has any direct link to the Ghana people? Why single out Akwaba and leave Kotoka untouched? It is any Americano. Nkrumah bebe ye Photoshop ebe to ho se uko Kotoka. Let me show you the pictures. Se uko Kotoka International Airport ye Akwaba no ene di obake aba be hye ho ni nti no Asante fo na age di e mo aba be tro se die ntia na Kotoka no mo nsesa everfo ni din nti no Photoshop ni right omo de obake eno mo de atale ho ati ase omo trese obake no eni obake omo trese obake no ye aiden ye ababa bebo eye airport ho inti Asante fo na age right Asante fo na age inti eno na Asante fo ne ka se na Kotoka ne kra no edin no ye Eveni gintia na ne di demu yi Eveni ni din e na yen Akwaba na ewo airport no mu yi na modi obake aba betale ho. Into say the truth is this isn't about cultural preservation at all. It is about your deep-seated resentment. You hide behind heritage as a cover, but what really drives this is your disguised hatred and open disdain for Akans. But let's not pretend. The reason Akwaba, a Twi word meaning welcome, sits proudly at Kotoka International Airport since Nkrumah's time is simple. Because Twi has become so popular and is widely spoken across Ghana, whether Asante Twi, Ekuapem Twi, Fanti, Ahanta, Nzema, Sefi, Wasa, Bono, Wasa, etc. All the Akan tribes, it has become our unofficial national language. It is our unifying medium of communication beyond English. Try as you may, bend the sea, move the skies, Twi remains the one indigenous language that allows Ghanaians to communicate freely beyond English everywhere at any time. Check the numbers. Out of Ghana's 16 regions, 9 speak Twi and 8 are Akan majority: Ashanti, Ahafo, Eastern, Central, Western, Western North, Bono East, and part of Oti. In all these regions, Akwaba is the common way to welcome guests. So, it made perfect sense for it to be word chosen for Ghana's premier airport, Kotoka International Airport. But strangely, while some of our grandbrothers and sisters had no issue with the name Kotoka, a man who wasn't even a native of their land, they questioned Akwaba, the same way they demonstrated over Ohinijan Stadium, named after an Ekuapem man whose contribution to Ghana football is unmatched, until the then government was forced to change it. Ironically, if we are to go by boundaries, the Ekuapems and Gans are cousins. Accra to Ekuapem is literally a walking distance, yet they rejected the name of an Ekuapem man from their stadium. Inti we Asantefo no ma history. Say Ganfo ne de omo ya no ene de omo ye se ya no ene ade omo ye ani ade omo ye ani ene de ne Ekuapem kra no ye de Ekuapem ni bi to stadium so omma ye kokko yiye nsem bebre. Also, meanwhile, in Ekuapem land, nobody protested when their biggest hospital was named Tetequashe Memorial Hospital after a Ghana man. Ekuapems honored his legacy because of his immense contribution to cocoa in Ghana. They didn't cry foul. They didn't ask for the name to be removed. That's the maturity. Time and again, attempts are made to create animosity against Akans. In the name of Akans are tribalist. In Kumasi alone, we have Angloga, Moshizango, Baba Yara Sports Stadium, Fanti Newtown, Agric Nzima, Dagomba Line, and Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, all named after other ethnic groups or individuals. Has any indigene of Kumasi or Asante man ever complained? We have Abbey's Park in Ashtown, named after a Ghana native. We have Sego Line in Kejetia, also named after a Ghana native. At the Kumasi Cultural Center, there is Kwashi Aidan Hall. Even the Ekuapems have named their biggest hospital after a Ghana native, Tete Kwashi. Did you see any Akan rising up in protest or calling for the removal of these names, as you did with Ohinijan? Is this really how we build a united nation? It's clearly no. This account, and yane de say, adena moya sa, oba asante memwa, ye di edinya toto inyama so. Oba Ekuapem a, ye de mo nkranfo nipa bi din na to so, nanso mo nko yewe alamusi hey. Ba me se nyama we ni na akoso no. Onte se eveni bi akasa wo, eye asantefo ne Ganfo no. And address or more so mo kong and omoye de omuko mo na yen her response a Ganfo no so e de bre asantefo no me read this response. Let's read this response. I say it is quite ironic that today you find comfort in emphasizing that the smaller Akan tribes are indeed Akan. Inti Nkrani katre asantini say hey ene de asemba no. Oh, Kase, Munina, and Muya Akanfo. Also, yet within the very Ashanti region, your words and actions towards your sister tribes tell a different story, particularly the Bonos, whom you often look down upon, and the Fantis, whom you treat with little regard. Also, and the Asemba, no, Opesa Moka Akanfo Nina Bomzo, Munia Moya Akanfo, Nanso Mua Sante for on the Crano. muhu bonofo na mo kaseti omo muhu fantifo a mo kaseti omo nanso ende asem ba no pese otrese mo ye one we ye nkrani a wo kasa asem no. O see, we also know how deeply systemic the tribal card has become, especially when conversations shift to nordness, Evers or Gans. Suddenly, when it suits a parochial agenda, you attempt to draw from a well you never helped to dig. That contradiction is telling. If there is any real embarrassment for your tribe, it stems from the exaggerated sense of superiority you wield over others, without much to show for it. The state of your towns and villages, which remain largely underdeveloped, speaks volumes. Hey, inti nkrani na ikatra asantini ne say. Mo sorry aya na mo pese mo hu say asede mo ti obi aso bi sa no. Nanso ye kokokoko ana ye ba mu nkrasi a ye hu ne say chale. Hwi mu ni hwi. Hey. I say, and while Otumfuo remains your most prominent figure, the near worship of him as a demigod has not translated into meaningful development for your immediate communities, nor has it cured the canker of superiority that clouds your judgment. I say, Asantefone sorry omuhu Otumfuo say oyomonyame. Nanso de bia wo sum Otumfuo de bia no. Ye hu impuntu nyuma bia e de abre omo. I say Accra, on the other hand, has long been the most accommodating region, which is why it remains the capital. Inti Nkrani ni trese, yen Nkran no, eye capital na Nkran na ajemu. Your yearning for relevance is so deep that you adopted the label Comerica in an attempt to reinvent a wounded self-identity and craft an artificial image of greatness. At the very least, Accra has provided opportunities that have helped many of your people rise from poverty, whether as cobblers, bus conductors, or market sellers. Si bibieni a Nkran enama mo Asantefo ni bia mo ba Nkran a na mo ye shoemakers, mo ye tro mates, market women no, ene mo aba benye sika Nkran na ema mo sa ade no. Enye Nkran because mo ba Nkran ni ye hu mo. Afi mo ada ni sikafo. We Nkran ni asem a wo ka tra Asantefo or responding. Or see yet, what does it? Oh yeah, you want to hear what I'll say about it. So don't worry, I'll just read and then you hear what I say. Or see yet, what the city has not been able to cure is the persistent lack of enlightenment, skewed perception, and prejudiced judgments that continue to shape your worldview. In today's global space, nobody is concerned with the dominance of one language over another. As Gans, our priority is clear: preserving our culture, our language, culture, and heritage. Into say and just say one more time obi. Now so mo hu ne say Nkranfo no omo kasa ene omo heritage ene omo amamre eyera. Inti di omo be ya ebe masa omo kasa ne omo amamre no aba no ene omo eye. Ti anya say one more time obi a. I say perhaps you should continue chasing after your fleeting PR nonsense while we remain focused on building a nation of substance and pride. A set of people who fought and continue to fight civilization and love the idea of modernity, both in action and in thought, should not have an opinion this bold. Know your place. Hey! Abranche di oba bedi atem. Ohwe Asantefo no account na ono no utumi se na wo kasa from oya omo. Ba branch we de obae no em say waba be de ono de oba be di atem. Now, before that no, before I say what I have to say no, we emma the tourism board, right? At the statement eba betuja. Now this is what the tourism board said. Or say clarification, false claim on Kwame Nkrumah Park signage. Or say the Ghana Tourism Authority has not replaced Wezon ever and Akwaba Akan with Obake at the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park. We never ordered or approved any such change. These greetings remain intact and respected. In the tourism board na ba can say, sa de we are enunti amanto kwana ba mo say Akwaba ne ye free ho then tourism board ne say ye hwim free ho. In sa de we no mo say ye Wezon ene Akwaba no free ho. Ena ama ntokwane si o social media tourism board ne say ade no yenyi free ho still e wo ho scientist still wo ho a obehu wezo ne wehu akwaba no e wo ho. Right, that's what the tourism authority is saying now. To what I think about this, me and mimiti hey me melodies and make say make asawo Asante twi mu. And so people who know me know say I am 100% ever. Me and me make say me 100% ever. In fact, me ever nimpo de 100%, 1000%. Me busia me yes Nkrumah na me busia no me busia lineage ni na obi animu. Me yes Nkrumah ni bi me busia lineage no tribe bia nim ever for nko a nti wo me maame me maame papa me maame papa me maame wo call me family tree wo call me papa side from eti ekosi 9 wo call me maame side from eti kosi 9 obia ye ever nti me 1000% ever. me busuafo no na me busuafo na obo hunu say water region omo no matena saa de ma me be pie wotema ene say me papa ba be pie mu wotema ena akofa me maame e wo water e baaye ati ase ene ma me ba be pie mu wotema enye saa na ka me kra no na ka ebia by this time water region na me kra me nyin wo nti me a me meti a me ka say me 1000% ever. Now I'm saying this emra na me nana eye me maame otiase may her soul rest in peace. Adia ba kon sa time no otiase na me very young. I was around my 10 years 12 years what you very very young na me sakra otiase no na wotaye bibi na adia na wotaye ne say oma Christmas any new year bia no ni ye water region ekoko spend the Christmas and the new year there. So every year bia ye be go back to water region ni akwa spend wo ho. Now I remember ade we wo meniso na miso ade but e wo meniso. I remember say time bia ni ye be go water region bia for holidays no. Eya na I get shocked. Why? Because obi biara no wo ho bia enti kase bia onti yen ye free tema ne yabaw e na yen no eye twi ne ye ka wotema. Inti ye koko piemu wo water region ho na ye koyese ye ka twi ya obi anti ase. And that time I was very young and I was surprised. Say didn't na me ka twi ya obi anti ase. So we were speaking ever. Inti ever na ye ne obi a wo ho kasa obi ani wa na otitwi bibia ye ever. In fact ni ye tro mo ade wo school kra na ye ever mu ne ye de tro mo ade. Teacher na tro mo ade science maths or the ever na tro mo. That was my first experience of moving out of Tema to go to a different place and to see that say kasa na me kan wo Tema twi no ye nkan wa ha. Ba wonim when I came back to Tema I felt sorry for Ganfo. And I was very young that time. But even that time na me yakola no I felt sorry for Gan. Omo ana omo free and crying. Because me Tema, ye wo me wo Tema. Me yakola na me Tema no, me tin crying kasa. Na me timpo se Nkrumah kan crying. Ba me ko water region na me ko hu say say kasa omo kan wo ho ye ever no. So the question I asked myself say inti adenti na ye wo Greater Accra e ho no yen kan crying. So from that time very young in age I started feeling sorry for the Gan people. Me ever ni nanso school primary ni GSS teachers are na pema sempa Asante twi teachers. Me kai ye ko tro BC final year. Me teacher Asante twi teacher no pema sempa na asem wo kan say onhu ever ni a no ya de wo Asante twi mu te say me. It no pema sem. Say Nkrumah wo class wo mo ya Asante fo na so Asante twi no metumi tro etumi kakra sin. Eye Asante fo ni bi. Nti na Asante twi teacher wo pema sem. Oko water region, there is no way ye tre will be in crying. So oko water region, there is no way ye tre will be Asante twi. the local language a yɛtwerɛ mo wɔ hɔ ɛyɛ Ewe. Okwa Ashanti region, there is no way a yɛtwerɛ will be Ewe. If you go to the Ashanti region, there is no way a yɛtwerɛ will be in Nkrumah. Okwa, the local language a yɛtwerɛ will school ɛyɛ Asante Twi. But to back creator Accra, me school a me kɔɔ ɛyɛ Asante Twi ne yɛtwerɛ yɛn. Asante Twi. So me, very early in life, I've always felt say there is something wrong with Nkrumah for what I say. And yes, there is something wrong in a bad way with them. Say we but there was always for me. I always had a soft spot for them. Say I say, yirim. Because in Yamba CC or other regions, no more dear no ayirim. But you see, it comes with your region becoming the capital, because once it is a capital, you invite people from other places to come. Once people come from other places, so when making a 1 year, no one here, okasa nebe yirim, and then they are to crying for, and no nende are to crying for. And see, me meti ha me say. Just like any other ever. In the idea we buy no, adane Asante for ne Nkrumah for ne na ekun ho. Who say ever ni kasa ho, because the natural ever ni no otin Nkrumah for na se. The natural ever ni no otin Nkrumah for na se say Nkrumah for the air course no as ye ni omu ndi ni ye. But Asante for ne so omo kasa. Omo so already can. Because I said, yeah, Opesa will share your subi. It is the same way. I said, I shall see kitten cases as a young here, and these are the things a creative division. Ghana how tribalism will happen. A yan ye katakata yeni. Na embre do say, o koware. Embre do say, when you be eko ye be one of bones Ghana ha tribalism will have rough. We'll try and watch your comment box, Nemo.